This is the easiest way you're gonna look good for summer while doing the least amount of work in the gym. I'm basically gonna tell you the exercises that you need and the ones that you don't need that you can skip, and that may include calves and legs. Also, if you like content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. All right, let's get into it. I'm not saying do this all the time, but if you want to get in shape for the next 6 weeks before summer starts and you just want to maximize your time in the gym, but you don't want to take up too much time of your life, this is what you should be doing. First of all, you should be prioritizing which muscles are your least strongest. So if you say your chest is your worst muscle group, do chest exercises before your other exercises that you're going to do throughout the rest of the workout. Because as the session builds up, you can have more CNS fatigue and also muscle fatigue from doing the exercises. So if you leave your worst muscle group to the end of the workout, you're not going to push as hard. So put it at the beginning of your workout. It also means once it's done, it's done. So if you don't enjoy training it, you can enjoy the rest of the workout pretty much. For chest, all you need to do is 2 exercises. One where you press up and one where you fly. That's it, simple as that. Ideally, I would choose a pressing movement which is incline, because your upper chest is usually not developed anyway, and it will also make your whole chest look bigger if you develop your upper chest. It could be dumbbells, machines, barbells, cables, mops, I don't really care. Choose something that you enjoy and that you can progress on and it's easy to do. If you hate doing a specific exercise, like you don't like doing dumbbell incline press because it fucks with your shoulder, don't do it, choose a machine. Or if you don't like doing that, use a barbell. Or if you really do like doing incline, do incline. Also, when you're doing an incline variation, you don't have to have the bench 45 degrees because you get a lot of front delt activation. So instead, have it between 15 or 30 degrees. This is usually like 1 up from being flat, or 2 up from being flat if you want 30 degrees. This means that as soon as it goes from flat to a little bit incline, it's already gonna be using your upper chest and you can lift more weight. Also, if you have an arch when you press, I would suggest going to 30 degrees, but if you don't have an arch, just go to 15. It makes it easier and it doesn't fuck with your shoulders. Same thing goes for flies. If you don't like doing cables, do a pec deck. If you don't like doing a pec deck, do a dumbbell. If you don't like doing dumbbells, do one of them. I don't know, but don't skip it and train both of these within the 5 to 8 rep range, both exercises, and also do 1 or 2 sets to failure or 1 rep in reserve. What this means is you can either train to failure or you can train to where you think is 1 to 2 reps before you're about to fail. But the risk of that is if you haven't trained to failure before, you don't necessarily know how far away you are from failure. So I recommend training to failure for the first couple weeks and then experiment when you can stop a little bit shy of failure, because ultimately you can recover faster if you don't train to failure every session. And that's it for chest. 2 exercises, 1 incline movement and 1 fly movement. If you do those, progressively overload them and enjoy them, after 6 weeks, chest will be looking so much better, your strength will be going through the roof, and your triceps will also be activated in this, so you'll also be building your tricep strength up. But the only thing is you have to be doing very strict form. You have to be getting good range of motion, because if you stuff up one set and you don't go to failure or you don't do the correct form, it's gonna impact astronomically, because you've only got 1 more set to actually build muscle. So before the 2 sets to failure, make sure that you've got your form down pat, make sure you've got your range of motion down pat, make sure everything's good, and then train hard on those 2 sets, progressively overload every week on it, increasing the reps. Don't increase the sets, keep it as 2 sets. And increase the weight, either one, but make sure that you don't increase the weight just to progressively overload. If your form gets better or you can control it for a better tempo, that's also progressively overload also. So don't try and use momentum to get the weight up. There's no point. I'd rather you control the weight on the way down more for longer. So say you do 3 seconds on the first week, you control it for 4 seconds, that's already progressively overload. And it's way safer than increasing the weight and dislocating a shoulder. Yeah. Exercise number 2 is for shoulders. You only need to do lateral raises. There's no need to do a rear delt fly or a front delt press unless you actually want to do it and you want to spend more time in the gym doing it. If not, just do lateral raises. Your front delt is activated whenever you do any pressing movements, and your rear delts are usually activated when you do any rowing movements. So for back day and for chest day, both of those are covered. We're trying to minimize the amount of time that you're in the gym. So at this point, you haven't trained your side delts. Do lateral raises using cables, dumbbells, or machines. Personally for me, because I'm doing upper A and upper B, I would train upper A with a machine, lateral raise, and then upper B I would use dumbbells or a cable or something, just because it gives me a little bit of variation, makes it more exciting. Personally, I train mine between the 5 to 8 rep range, once again, 2 sets till failure. That's it. Low volume, high intensity. You can definitely train that between like the literally 5 to 12 rep range. You wouldn't go above 12 before increasing the weight. That's all you really need for shoulders. It'll make your shoulders look broader. Your pressing movements will increase your front delt strength anyway. So unless you actually want to do those exercises for some specific reason, I'll just steer away from any front delt or rear delt exercise and just do lateral raises. I know they suck, but they're probably the best exercise for your shoulders. Exercise number 3 and 4 kind of is for your arms or your triceps specifically. All you need to do is an overhead extension and a kickback. That's it. Now, tricep kickbacks are a bit controversial. I would not be doing them with dumbbells. If you're doing that, get out of the gym. No dumbbells. Any overhead variation will target the long head, and that's one of the biggest heads of the tricep, so it's a big part. So what you want to do is choose a cable, choose a dumbbell. I don't really mind, whatever you want to do. A machine if you've got a machine. Choose one of those exercises where your arms are overhead and you extend above. That'll target the long head, and then all you need to do is a little tricep kickback. And this is a really specific exercise because it also targets a part of the tricep which is never really trained in the shortened position. So if you do this is going to give you your best bang for your buck because you never train this on any other exercise. So your medial head's already been trained during any pressing movement that you do on chest day or anything like that. So you don't need to train that at all. So we're just getting rid of that completely, and all you need to do is train is your lateral head and your long head. So these 2 exercises will definitely help. When you're setting up for the tricep kickback, use a cable, use moderately light weight. Make sure you lock your elbow into your side when you do it, and you don't use your shoulder when you're doing it. Bend over slightly, make sure your back is straight so you're not going to get a bunch of back pain after it, and hold on to the cable for extra stability, and just do a normal kickback. Because of the resistance profile, doing this with a dumbbell doesn't make sense, but doing this with a cable does, because the cable's pulling your tricep back and you've got constant tension throughout the whole range of motion, whereas with a dumbbell you're acting upon gravity and that doesn't really work at all. So do those 2 exercises. Those are your best bang for your buck for your tricep. That'll grow your triceps and grow your big arms. 1 to 2 sets per session. Train to failure or 1 rep in reserve, whatever you want to do. 5 to 8 rep range. All right, exercise number 5. I'm going to make it simple. Biceps. All you need to do is a curl and a hammer curl if you really want to. You don't have to do it, but you can if you want to. They have been vaulted and there's a bit of controversy in the gym community about them, but if you really want to do them, do them. Choose a curl, whether it's dumbbells, incline curls, preacher curls, barbell curls, whatever curl you want to do the curl. Each part of your bicep, your long head and your short head is activated in both any curl. You can't bias or specifically target either one. So just choose a curl, do 2 sets of it, train until failure, enjoy it. And so if this means that you hate doing incline curls, don't do them. If you hate doing preacher curls or you love doing preacher curls, just do them. Train it at max intensity till failure for 2 sets and 5 to 8 rep range, whatever you want to do. We could even go the 1 to 2 rep range, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Rep ranges don't matter. Train at hard intensity, train it consistently, and choose an exercise that you enjoy, because remember, you're only doing 1 exercise for your biceps. So make sure that you enjoy it, because otherwise you're going to be hating it and dreading it. And make sure you get a good pump from it too, because a good bicep pump always helps out, you know. And then choose a hammer curl variation to target the brachialis if you really want to. Same thing, could be dumbbells, machines, cables, whatever you want to do. Like I said, it's not imperative that you do it. You could still just stick with the 1 curl, do 2 sets of that, and that'll do ya. Exercise 6 and 7 is going to be for back. All you need for back is 1 exercise where your elbows are flared and you're pulling from in front, and 1 exercise where you're pulling from above and your elbows are tucked in. This means you do any horizontal row. It could be dumbbells, machines, barbell, whatever you want to do, where you're really trying to target the upper back, trying to build back thickness, and then you choose an exercise where you're pulling from above, such as a lat pull down, a pull over, pull up. It's all pulling from above, and those exercises will target the lats, focusing on back width. Choose whatever exercise you want for both of them. One might be a lat pull down. If you hate doing lat pull downs, do pullovers, find another variation, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. Same thing as for back width. If you hate doing barbell rows, do dumbbells. If you hate doing dumbbells, use a machine, whatever you want to do, whatever bang for your buck, right? But load them within the 5 to 8 rep range, 2 sets, that's all you need. Done. Back is cooked off the bone. For exercise 8 and 9, we're doing legs, unfortunately. I know we can't just skip them. You really just need 2 exercises, 1 for your quads and 1 for your hamstrings. For your quads, I would choose a squat variation, a hack squat, barbell squat, whatever you want to do, a pendulum squat. Choose one of those. That'll build your quads up and your hamstrings and your calves usually, because it's a full body movement. For hamstrings, all you have to do is choose a leg curl. This could be lying down. This could be a single leg hamstring curl. This could be a seated hamstring curl, probably the best one. But all you have to do is choose one of those exercises, one for your quads, any squat variation, and any hamstring curl variation. That'll build your legs up. You probably don't need much for calves. You can if you really want to, but they're gonna be worked during your squats, and everyone knows that calves are genetic and you don't need to train them. And you wanna get out of the gym as fast as possible anyway, so we're gonna skip them. But yeah, train them both within the literally 3 to 6 rep range. I don't mind, to be honest, but progressively overload them. Once again, 2 sets till failure, you know the drill. And that's all the exercises that you actually need. How I would structure this, if you really want to maximize time outside the gym, I'll do 3 full body days and a rest day in between each one. This means you're training each muscle group at least 3 times a week, and you're actually getting time to recover between each session, so your CNS isn't getting fatigued. So I would structure my workout by putting lateral raises first. Even though my chest is my weakest point, I'd put lateral raises first because they suck. I mean, they don't really build any fatigue in any other muscles that are really going to be impacted throughout the session. Also, you got to know what you're training last is going to be your least important muscle group, because your fatigue that's going to be built up throughout the session is going to be exponential. By the end of the session, you're going to be not wanting to be training as hard. You're not going to be enjoying it as much. Overall, it's just a trade-off. Or you could also structure it doing an upper-lower split throughout the week. This would mean you do all your upper body on one day, then you do 2 lower body exercises, and then another upper body day, and then another 2 lower body exercises, and then rest. Well, you can rest in between, whatever you want to do. So if I was going to structure it doing an upper lower, if I wanted my chest to be a priority on one day, I would put my chest exercises first, and say my back was a weak point, I would put it on upper B as my first exercise, and that would be my biggest priority to grow. So if I was doing an upper lower split, I would usually do a incline press, then a fly, then I'd choose to probably do a lateral raise, then I'd probably do the tricep exercises for both of them, then I'd probably do a back exercise, and that would do me for upper day. Have a rest day, or I could do lower the next day, whatever you prefer. Then after that, on the lower day, I would do, if you train to failure on both exercises, you could get away with doing just 2 exercises for legs, which means you're in the gym for like, I don't even know, probably like 45 minutes max, and you just do a squat variation and then a hamstring curl variation. Then what would I do on upper B? The next time I trained it, I would do a different squat variation and then a different hamstring curl variation. So if I did pendulum squats on lower A, I would do hack squat on lower B. And if I did hamstring curls seated on lower A, I'll do hamstring curls lying down on lower B. To be honest, it just makes it less boring training the same exercise twice a week. You switch them around and they're doing the same thing pretty much, but you're also getting a bit of variation in. And the same thing for upper B. I would swap some of my exercises around if you really wanted to. If you don't want to, keep the same exercises, keep the same structure. If it's not broken, don't fix it at the end of the day. But for me personally, if I'm doing an incline press to begin with on upper A, I probably don't want to do an incline press on upper B, so I might change it to a bicep exercise. If my biceps are my weak point, I can put that first, and it doesn't really impact the rest of my workout. And maybe I'll do biceps first, then I'll say chest is one of my weakest points, so I'll put that second. Yeah, so then I'll train shoulders, then I'd train arms, so my tricep exercises, and then that would be my upper B. Done. So do whatever you want, mix them around whatever you want, but those are the exercises that you need. So to summarize, these are the only 9 exercises that you need. Incline press, a fly, a lateral raise, a overhead extension, a tricep kickback, a row where you're pulling from in front and 90 degrees elbow flexion, a pull down where you're pulling from in front of your body, tucking your elbows, a hamstring curl, and a squat variation. I don't know if that's 8 or 9 if I've missed any, but that's the only exercises that you need. That is literally the least amount that you can do and have a pretty good fulfilled physique for summer, and you're gonna look good on the beach. If this helped, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.